What are you doing?
It's National Numeracy Day, Ryan, a day to celebrate numbers. I got here super early. I've been memorizing all the games, the lines, the pitchers, the goaltenders, the props, German soccer, all the numbers, bro. All right? I have every stat up here. I'm beautiful minding it, Ryan. Oh, I'm super prepared today.
Well, hey, Rayman, these are from yesterday. You want today's sheets? There you go. Roll the open.
That's right. The old brain's ready to go. Bravo to Ryan on his performance in that, too, by the way. Ad-libbing instead of Einstein, he went with Rain Man, which was the actor's choice. Very good. Funny little open there. We hope you enjoyed it. Welcome to Punchlines, the only show coming to you live right now from the South Point Casino Sportsbook. I'm Frank Nicotero, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan, and I am excited for today's show because of our co-host, but also because my hometown of Pittsburgh is where the 2026 NFL Draft will be held. Woohoo! Yep. Pittsburgh's hosting the 2026 Draft. I know they put a bid in. I knew it was probably going to happen. They're going to utilize Point Park, the stadium, the historic Strip District. It's going to be all over the town.
Yeah, it was announced this morning, but you announced it, a couple weeks ago?
I did.
That it was.
I had an inside source that kind of knew it was going to happen. Frank Murgy. But what? Who did I say? But yeah, it was kind of, it still wasn't official, but yeah, we knew that it was probably going to be 2026. Next year, it's in,
I know where it is. It's in Green Bay.
Green Bay, that's right. Oh, yeah, no, I forgot.
I was going to say something I
shouldn't
say, so I
you can't say it anymore? You're stopping saying
it? No, just be glad that Pittsburgh is following Green Bay, because then you beat it no matter what.
Right. I mean, the whole town of Green Bay is about 30,000 people. So.
Yeah, the two hotels are already sold out.
I do want to go to a game there someday. Wouldn't you want to go to Lambeau?
Yes, I do.
You know what? First of all, let's introduce everybody. My God. Behind the glass, sealed for protection, and to just give him a nice.
Yeah, coming up with that joke on the spot.
Glossy glow. Did I forget to put it in the script, didn't I? Yeah, I did. And try and be is for my boy.
My boy, Blue.
My boy, Blue. That's my boy, Blue. Anyway, Ryan McCormick, our producer. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's an easy one. Who's sitting next to me? It's Wednesday. So our co-host is two-time national champ, Diet Cherry Soda fan, and sports betting analyst Alex White is here. Yay, Alex. Alex, what do you got cooking for picks at 12:36?
Well, I'm just going to give my two best picks. Okay. One is hockey and one is college baseball, actually.
College baseball?
But you already know who's in net for the hockey after all of your studying, right? Do you know who's playing for Florida and New York?
It's that guy, Shesterkin.
Yep, it is.
Shesterkin.
I call him Shesterkin. We have an old joke that we do.
Yeah.
And everyone knows Florida's goalie. So, yeah, I've been studying all day. But I was looking at yesterday's. So hockey wasn't on the sheets.
That's true.
So I wasn't studying. I know everything about the Pacers Celtics. You're going to ask me about.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I know you guys have a loaded show, but we'll get to all your numbers and your studying.
What do you mean
soon.
we have a loaded show? It's we have a loaded show. Alex, you are here on Wednesdays. It is part of your show. Kudos to Caden for the thumbnail of today's show,
yes.
Which Ann is not here today. Ann's taking the day off, so she can't yell her favorite two words.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the comments. I go, who's A Gold saying hump day? And everyone's like, that's Ann. And I'm like, okay. Well, I've never seen Ann in the live chat, so I didn't know she's A Gold. Could have been Andrew Gold, who had the hit song Lonely Boy and also the theme to Golden Girls. Thank you for being a friend.
Or Drew Dog.
It could have been Andrew Goldstein. Yeah, Goldstone. So, yeah. All right, I screwed up. I didn't notice. I'm sorry, Ann. Mini Dar. What's up, Mini Dar? Do not go to a Packer game when it's below 30 degrees. No, we would go to like a September Packer game, maybe October when the foliage is hitting.
Don't go to a Packer game.
Wouldn't you want to go to a Packer Bears game on the road?
Yeah.
I know. I saw this somewhere on the internet one day. They have an Airbnb. There's houses like right outside. It's in a neighborhood.
It's the only thing going on in Green Bay.
Yeah, of course. But like there's houses like on the street, like 200 yards, and you can like rent that house. It's not that much money. Like it's better than a Hampton Inn, I would assume,
because
which is probably
in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
A fancy hotel there. The Holiday Inn's like the Four Seasons there, yeah. Again, if you're from Green Bay and we're ripping on Green Bay, we're not. We're paying tribute to Green Bay.
Well, Ryan is a little bit.
Ryan is ripping on Green Bay a little bit. We have so much today to do. First of all, let's point out that it's National Boss Babe Day. I had that pointed out because Ann, who runs the studio, directs the show, We wanted to say happy national, but maybe she's out partying with other boss babes. Maybe that's what Ann's doing. I think that could be it. So anyway, ladies, celebrate your day if you're a boss babe. Do I have a graphic? Nope. Okay. Ann is the boss of the studio. Alex is the boss of giving winners later on in the show. That's what I have written here. Didn't have Ryan's intro, though. That's the first time I forgot an intro for you.
That's not the first time.
Well, there was a time. Yeah. We know the last time. We have deleted those days. May 22nd already. May 22nd, 2024. It's the 143rd day of the year. 143 means I love you in like code speak. How many days are remaining? 223, you ask. But I also looked this up because I know opening day is September 5th of the NFL season. 106 more days.
Okay.
106
those
days.
Those are the numbers you were really studying.
I'm telling you, it's it's National Numeracy Day. So I wanted to have a bunch of numbers. Just 106 days. And you already see the OTAs happening, right? So, you see like a lot of we're going to get to that in post. We have some players showing up at OTAs. Big Ben threw a pass to James Harrison. He threw into Hines Ward. Very cool. It was a Troy Polamalu charity thing. So football's out there. And even though baseball, not even at the halfway point, playoffs in hockey, playoffs in basketball, football still will lead our posts today.
Well, it's funny. Before our show, Sean and Jeff were having a long conversation about, I miss football. I want 3-0 first half games. I want 6-3 final score games. We don't care. We just want football. I think you guys were talking about it last week, right?
A couple weeks ago, some guy tweeted, I'd kill for one of those crappy Thursday night football games right now.
Yep.
It was a Thursday. Yeah. I mean, honestly, somehow Roger Goodell, before he leaves office, he will figure out how to do year-long football. Because the UFL, is that still going?
Yeah.
Remember when I wanted us to be like big on the UFL?
Yeah.
That never really caught on.
There was a report that came out this morning, I think, that
the ratings are okay.
The NFL is going to try and have every single team play an international game going forward. I don't know when it'll start, maybe 28 or something like that, but they're going to try and have every team play an international
at least
game.
one game per year. And by then, they're going to be up to 18 or 20 games? They're just going to kill these players.
It'd be an 18-game schedule, I think.
Oh, my God. Okay, so Ryan, Alex, and I will be we're going to be looking at the opening week of NFL games. You can come down to the South Point right now. Here's the sheet with the lines. I'm just looking at the first one. Let's look at the opening game. Thursday, September 5th. Chiefs at home, favored by 3 over the hated Ravens, minus 50 money line. So we're going to go through these a little later in the show. Alex and Ryan and I, we're going to circle who we think will cover that line, even though it's 106 days away. Seal them in an envelope, and then we'll open them up after the first week.
It'll be fun. When you say hated Ravens, you mean just by you and me. Steelers fans.
And everybody who hates the Ravens. You don't like the Ravens, do you?
I do like the Ravens. And so does Caden. We like the Ravens.
Caden,
remember I have a Lamar Jackson
Yeah,
jersey?
I remember. Okay. Why would you like the Ravens?
It was the only Super Bowl I've ever been to.
Oh, that's right. Okay, well.
That sounds like a bandwagon.
Yeah, it does sound like a bandwagon. Name 2 players on the Ravens right now. Go.
Don't know.
Respect.
All right, later on, let's see what else. We're going to do Hump Day Homers.
Hump Day
Homers. And but first, it's time for 100 Shows Ago. This is where we look back 100 shows ago. Today is episode 158. And 100 Shows Ago was our first show of the new year of 2024. I know we have a graphic. There it is. Look at me wearing a Jerome Bettis eating a banana on an old TV. And there's me with our famous clip of me breaking a TV. So 100 episodes ago, it was January 2nd. Here's me. Here's Puffy Face Frank, drunk off his butt. It's midnight. I'm wearing 2 hats. I'm outside of the Treasure Island. It was very loud.
Let's go 2024.
So there you go. That was a little moment there.
So we're on our 101st episode of the year.
Look at him doing math. There it is. National Numeracy Day. There you go. See, I should have mentioned that in the numbers, but I have you here to do that. So there you go. Way to go, Ryan. And, we have a regular feature that we like to do when Alex is here. Sean, get ready. Get ready for the meow. Bring the meow. It's time for That's Crazy. Dan's not here.
That's crazy.
What? That's crazy.
Makes no sense whatsoever. Alex, we always like to have you bat lead off on these. So what do you got?
So mine isn't as relevant because I jump in on Wednesdays. It probably would have been more relevant on a Monday. But it is about the NBA, and it's about the top 15 salaries in the NBA.
Okay.
So do you know how many players are still playing in the postseason?
I do not.
Of the top 15, there is one. And it is Rudy Gobert.
Well, it is relevant because they play tonight.
That's
They
right.
play tonight.
Very good. Thank you, Ryan.
Okay, so top salary, we have Steph Curry. What's Steph Curry making, 50?
He's making $51 million a year.
Throw some of those other names out there, Ryan. Who's up there?
So the top 5: Steph Curry making almost $52 million a year. Joel Embiid, LeBron James, and Nikola Jokic each making $47.6 million a year. Bradley Beal makes the most on the Suns. He makes $46.7 mil. Kevin Durant making 46.4.
All these guys are legit earning the money except for Bradley Beal so far.
Dame and Giannis, Kawhi, and Paul George all making the same amount of money. The top 2 on each of their teams. Jimmy Butler's making more, 45.1. Klay Thompson making 43.2.
Klay.
Rudy Gobert making $41 million. And then Fred VanVleet, the steal of the century, making $40.8 million a year.
He has a ring with the Raptors, right?
Yep. And then Anthony Davis rounds out the top 15 with $40.6 million a year.
I didn't realize Van Fleet was that high.
Exactly.
$46 million for him?
40.8.
40.8. Oh, sorry.
But
and then Rudy Gobert did just win his 4th Defense Player of the Year?
Yes.
Wemby won.
No, Wemby did not win the
No,
Defensive
it was
Player of the
Rudy
Year.
Gobert. He made the team. He made the first team. So Gobert, he earns the money, but that's amazing that only Alex won that. That's crazy.
Well, and that's just showing you that the league is switching, right? Because now we've got Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
We've got Halliburton, all these young players that should get paid here soon.
Which the NBA desperately needs. Because, I mean, look at those guys up there. We've been saying their names for the last 15 years, most of them, and they will fall off that list soon. I mean, they're all Hall of Famers up there, except for maybe Fred VanVleet.
You're going to put Bradley Beal in
Bradley Beal. Those two are not Hall of Famers. Gobert could probably go into the Hall of Fame with winning all those Defensive Player of the Year.
I think Dame needs to win a title.
You might have something there on Dame, but his numbers are so solid.
Paul George also needs to win a title.
Yeah, okay.
Jimmy Butler also needs to win a title.
No, I feel like Butler.
No, yeah, I think Butler.
I feel like Butler's already a Hall of Fame just because his postseason clutchness. He's been so good.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't know.
It's tough too because like Paul George,
Fred VanVleet
and
definitely
Kawhi.
not.
He's not going to make, but he has a ring.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alex.
I was just gonna say like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, like their window's kind of closing with the Clippers. They're trying to figure out what they're gonna do.
Well, Kawhi's definitely
and
Hall
now
of Fame.
Kawhi,
Yes.
yeah, he's
but Dame,
Dame
Lillard.
In the last
Let us. Okay, I'll tell you what. Everybody in the chat, go ahead. Let us know. Do you think Dame Lillard is a Hall of Famer or not? Dame Lillard. Who's the other one we're debating? Jimmy Butler.
Yes.
And Paul George. Maybe we'll do a poll. I don't know if we have the capability to do a poll without. And Jimmy, what's happening? Jimmy Vaccaro.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Call the Pacers up and tell them they have one more time out.
Call the Pacers up and tell them they have one more timeout left.
Yeah, they should have called it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, you couldn't see him, but that was Jimmy Vaccaro who just popped in.
They gave that game away last night. Not fouling Jaylen Brown or Pascal Siakam not putting his hands up. I don't know what that closeout was.
Now, is that the game's being rerun right now? Is that it? They were up 101-84?
No.
That's not. I was going to say that's not last night's game. By the way, if you want to talk nailed it or failed it real quick, you were all over the over at 222.
Yeah.
What was the regulation score?
Didn't even need overtime. It was 117.
Yeah, right. So it was 234
Yeah.
before half. So you said this looks weird. They had scored normally in the 240s.
Also, at the end of the third quarter, looking live bet, the over-under was at 245.
Oh, wow.
So I was going to jump in, but I'm like, this game might go to overtime. And so with it going to overtime, it ended up pushing over, and I was going to take so I was safe that I didn't jump in there.
Well, I made a parlay yesterday. I took Kevin's 2 picks. Kevin Belenkov was on the show yesterday. I took the Astros and Dodgers. I took my Cleveland Guardians. But the game had already started, so it wasn't that good. And then I took the over. So I was going to pay $38, $10 paid 38, 100 paid 3,800. Something that was crazy. 380. And the only thing that lost on it was the Dodgers, who's usually the gimme.
Yep.
So my bet was live all day. So it was going all day. It was very exciting. But Rudy Gobert, that's crazy. That is crazy that only one player is still amongst the 4 teams. Ryan, what is your that's crazy for the day?
So my that's crazy was more a line of the night.
Okay.
So Kylie Kelsey was a commencement speaker at a graduation.
I saw some of that, yeah.
At Cabrini University.
Sounds good.
Which is no longer a university. They're closing their doors. They're closing permanently. So just a little bit of her graduation speech.
First, your high school graduation was stolen from you by a global pandemic.
I think she's so cute.
Then your college
really
announced it was
Everything about
closing, and your senior year was spent on a campus that resembled a ghost town. And now this. You couldn't even get a top 5 Kelsey as your commencement speaker.
That's very funny. That is a great line. I wonder who wrote that.
I am well
maybe
aware
she wrote. I don't know, but
that
that's
my
a funny
current
line.
position in life is due to the wonderful people around me. But I'll be damned if I don't stay true to myself in everything that I do and ensure that I am always authentically me.
She is.
So find the things that speak to you. Your enthusiasm can be channeled to create change, and you are wonderful the way that you are.
There you go. Very nice.
Yes.
Couldn't even find a top 5 Kelsey.
I know. That's a great line. By the way, that's a good line of the night. Even though we're doing That's Crazy. But it's crazy. But you know what's crazy about it is her sister-in-law could be Taylor Swift soon.
Which I don't think should be Taylor Kelsey.
No, she'll stick with
No.
Taylor Swift.
Travis might have to change
Yeah,
his name.
Travis Swift.
Yeah.
He probably will. Just for the merchandise alone. You know how many shirts they'd sell with Swift on the back? Can't say change his number to like, what's her lucky number? 13?
Yes.
Oh, Swift 13. Oh, call the NFL. Calls Indiana, tell them they have a timeout. Call the NFL. Let's see. Minidar points out that Van Fleet is from Rockford, Illinois, where my mom was raised, and I I visited when I was a child, Rockford, Illinois, because my grandparents lived there. So I've been to Rockford. Frank's first Vegas New Year. Thank you, Keith. It was. I thought for a second I had been here for a New Year's Eve before, but then I realized, no, I'm sane. Why would I come to Vegas on New Year's Eve? Because it was madness out there. Took us 10 minutes to like walk a block. Don't me get started about Green Bay. That's the reason why they don't have cheerleaders. Yeah, I do want to go to a game though. I think we'll get petty cash and it's a South Point jet we could take. Fly up to Green Bay.
Yeah.
You know what? I already have friends, and a couple of them are probably watching, hitting me up for Steeler tickets for the Raider game. They're like, dude, are we going? I'm like, I don't know. I go, Sean, didn't you write me that, or Reno Paul, the most expensive ticket of the season so far is Steelers here in Vegas. Average ticket's like $601. Did you get tickets?
He did get tickets, yeah.
How much did you pay for them?
$700 each.
You're lying.
No. Yeah, he paid $700 each. Yeah. Raider tickets are expensive. It doesn't matter who's
Are they
here.
good seats?
20 gross.
$700 a piece? I have to pause for a second. Oh my God.
They're,
I'm used to going to games for like $100 tops in Pittsburgh. Holy mackerel. Well, we do have a box. South Point has tickets, so Chris? Okay. Anyway, Frank's That's Crazy or line of the night. It doesn't matter. I watched the game. So last night, I'm writing the show. I'm watching the game. Of course, the Pirate game is blacked out here because on MLB, all California teams are blacked out.
Right.
But a little birdie told me about a special site that I can go to watch the games for teams that are back east. That would be a clue. Anyway, so I got to watch the game. They're down 6-2 in the ninth. I'm like, all right, this is they Logan Webb pitch for the Giants. Didn't expect him to win that. We got Jared Jones. We got Paul Skeens coming. The Pirates roar back, tie it up in the ninth, and O'Neal Cruz. So O'Neal Cruz, that's his first hit of the game. It was over 120 miles an hour.
Yep.
Now,
This one was over 116.3.
was 116. So the one he hit in the ninth to tie up the game, that's it. Now, Brian Reynolds is on second base with 2 outs. He's on first base. Reynolds is a good base runner. He has to stop at third because that ball, even though it made it to the corner of right field there at PNC Park, it was hit 121 miles an hour.
Side, yeah.
It was hit too hard for him to score. Pirates end up winning it in the 10th with the ghost runner scoring, Nick Gonzalez with the base hit. But he hit it. He's the first player in the StatCast era, which is 2015, I believe, to have 2 hits over 120 miles an hour in the same game.
In the same game, yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean,
He and Giancarlo Stanton are the only ones that have multiple hits over 120 miles an hour in the same season.
Wow.
yeah, but I mean that
In the same
hit
game.
and watching that hit in the ninth to tie it up, and just the sound of it was just incredible. So, O'Neal Cruz on your fantasy team.
Yep.
And I have him winning the Major League home run title. 10 pays like $500. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, he was someone I looked at today for Hump Day homers, but I ended up not going with him because of the weather in Pittsburgh today. So
We'll get to Hump Day homers in a minute, but that's the end of That's Crazy. Do we want to play the graphic again, Sean, on the way out? Ann always likes to see it twice. She is watching. We don't have to.
The Giants was my only baseball.
What's that?
The Giants was my only baseball play yesterday, by the way. So I'm 3-1 when betting against Logan Webb. Last week I gave out against him.
He pitched great.
And he pitched great.
Right.
And then yesterday too. So I went back again.
He pitched great again.
Logan Webb, yeah.
Sorry, can't. This is you shouldn't bet again. Knowing you're coming on the show the next day, you're going to look me in the eye, say you took the Giants over the Pirates.
And Jeff had a crazy stat because the Pirates went down by so many runs.
Yeah.
I don't know. They had not come back in hundreds
And
of
forever,
games.
right?
Yeah.
Well,
But last
that's a
night
tough
they did.
one. I didn't have any money on him yesterday. But anyway, it is episode 158. And what shirt are you wearing there, Ryan?
My Super Bowl 58 shirt, which was in our lovely town of Las Vegas.
You know, and how much were tickets for that? Less than the Steeler Raider tickets next season. They went for crazy amounts of money.
10 times.
I pointed out that I loved your shirt. It's got some patches on the side.
Yeah.
All the Super Bowl merchandise. I was like, okay, Super Bowl's over. I imagine it's going to be everywhere. I liked the purple knit cap. I like the purple baseball hats. Gone.
I know. It was a great logo. Ryan just showed it on his sleeve.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can't find anything.
I have a cup from when Jeff and I went to the stadium for the opening night ceremonies or whatever. And I have a cup, drink out of it all the time. I love it, but I need a hat.
Did you get that from the football experience that you guys went to?
This one was a gift from my ststepmom.
Stepmom, yeah, right. Yeah, she bought a bunch of stuff, right? She's smart. I could probably check eBay, but I don't want to pay eBay price. All right, so what else did we have to do? What are we doing next? What should we do?
Did you want to do the
draft?
Look at the schedule or look at the
Let's
draft?
do the draft real quick.
Okay.
All right, so here's a fun thing. You guys can do this at home as well if you want to go ahead and tell us what team you picked. Do I hit the refresh button? Maybe that'll. Sometimes my chat goes silent.
Did you pause the episode?
No, I'm not that stupid. Anyway, someone posted this. Who posted this? Is it anyone we know? No, it's just some guy.
Well, no, it was some account on Twitter, but then Kurt Warner responded to it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and so that was kind of what got it the popularity. So build a lineup with $15 of these players that you see on your screen, going from $5 to $4 or $5 to $1, ranking these players. So one quarterback, one running back, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
I forgot to do this. So.
Okay, I'll go. I'll go first because you mentioned Kurt Warner. I wrote mine yesterday. I had Kurt Warner for $3. Kurt Warner, Super Bowl winning quarterback, almost won a couple. Kurt Warner, $3. Running back, give me Frank Gore for $2. So that's $5. Then you give me Jerry Rice for $5. So that takes me to $10. Then I get Larry Fitz for $4. Takes me to $14. And then this pains me to say I had to take a Raven. I only had $1 left, so I ended up with Todd Heap, who, by the way, killed the Steelers. Great tight end. That's my lineup. Kurt Warner, Frank Gore, Rice, and Fitzpatrick, and Todd Heap. Ryan, what did you have?
Pretty good.
That's a good lineup.
Yeah.
I'm going with Joe Flacco.
Oh, come on. How much is he?
$1.
$1.
And that is because I'm taking Barry Sanders
Oof.
for $5. I'm taking Jerry Rice for $5.
No.
I'm taking Chad Ochocinco for $2 and Todd Heap for $1.
Wow.
It's like tight end. It's like stuck with Todd Heap. Who's the highest tight end?
Gronk.
Where's Kelsey on there?
Kelsey is not on there.
Oh, it has to be retired players, I guess, right?
Yes, that's what it looks
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Rodgers is on there, but
who is?
Aaron Rodgers. But.
No, he's like retired. All right. What do you got for us, Alex?
I forgot to do it.
Do you want to just? Well, we'll talk through it.
I can't see that button.
Oh.
I was trying to pull it up on my phone.
Brady, Rodgers.
Yeah, quarterbacks. You got Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Kurt Warner, Steve McNair, and Joe Flacco.
Who's picking Steve McNair, by the way?
Well, it depends on the rest of your lineup.
Never won a. Okay, but still, he's never won a ring.
Running backs. You have Barry Sanders, Adrian
She doesn't
Peterson.
want to do it. It's too hard.
Thurman
It's too
Thomas,
confusing.
Frank Gore,
Yeah,
Darren
forget.
Sproles.
We'll move on.
You
right?
guys saw how I did in the draft for March Madness, remember?
Who had the winner in that March Madness draft? I can't remember. Oh,
Matt.
I had UConn.
You had the champion
Yes.
of the NCAA tournament. You
He
were
got
not
lucky
the
with
winner of the-
NC State took
of
him
our
to
game.
victory.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, that's fun. If you want to let us know your lineup, Andy Martel, Ginger Lynn is not from Rockford. Are you serious? 2 vastly different career choices. You can Google Ginger Lynn later. I actually met her once. That's all I'm going to say, Andy. I'll tell you the story next time I see you. Every seat is good at Raiders Stadium and Rams Charger Stadium. Anidar, I've been to SoFi. I'll admit it is a nice stadium, but it's the loudest, most annoying stadium, and it's impossible to get in and out of. That's my complaint with SoFi.
Well, pretty much everything in LA is hard to get in and out of.
You're not kidding, man. I'm telling you. I know, but I think I told the story before. it was a COVID game. So it was a Monday night game that got pushed to a Tuesday. It was Tuesday at 5:30, and it was Seattle versus the Rams. Me and my buddy Christian went. We got there at the 2-minute warning is when we walked in. 2-minute warning the first half because it was like insanity. And then to get out, to leave, I moved cones and made my own lane, and people followed me like the Pied Piper. I'm like, follow me, and I got everybody out of there. But it is a beautiful stadium, but it's just it's a train wreck. Okay, so it's 12:25. We're going to go ahead and move on to sticking with the NFL. Tell us about this contest that South Point does too.
Oh, okay. So every year they do a contest for the first weekend, and there has to be 15 games. So I was actually talking to Chris about it because now there's the Friday game.
Okay.
So that's only 14 games. So they may do a total, but there has to be 15, and you just pick the winner straight up. It's a guaranteed 25,000, but it depends on how many entries. So I remember last year, I think it got up to 50,000.
$50,000.
But you can fill out as many as you want for $5, and you just have to pick the winner.
And how many did you do? You said you did like 10?
I think I did 10. I think I spent $50.
I mean, so for $5, you could win up to $50,000.
Yes.
By just picking winners, not against the spread. Oh, you got to do that bet. It's just week one here at the South Point.
It's just week one. It's a lot of fun. But, I mean, you look at some games. So, I mean, I thought I had 10.
Yeah.
Where you just switch a few because you want to have different.
Right.
But it was really tough. I think I had one that only 5 wrong, but it wasn't good enough.
Yeah. You're saying the winner only had 3 wrong?
I think so. 3 or 4 wrong.
I feel like we're going to hit that, guys. One of us is going to hit it. We're doing it.
Yeah,
all right.
studio win.
So as you know, we like to seal things away. We like to seal things away here. Sometimes it's just for a weekend, but we're going to do this for 110 days, approximately. If it's opening 106, 7, 8, 9,
we'll do it
110 days.
Yeah.
Because it'll be Tuesday. So we're going to go ahead. We're taking a look. So you can come down to the South Point. You know there's lines. You guys already know that there's lines out there for the games. Here's the South Point sheet. We're going to go ahead and we'll quickly, not that quickly, we're going to go through and take our picks. But this is against the posted spread, which obviously is probably going to change due to injuries.
The opening
trades.
line. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. First game of the year is the Thursday, September 5th. This is a season opener. Kansas City Chiefs get to host it because they won the Super Bowl again. And they're at home. They're -3 against the Ravens. And so circle who you got. I took the Chiefs.
You took the Chiefs to cover the 3?
Yeah.
Give me the Ravens. They're going to win straight up.
They're going to win straight up.
Super Bowl hangover. The Lions beat the Chiefs last year in the first game. And the Ravens just lost to them. Now they have Derrick Henry. We'll see what they've got. Maybe they'll actually run the ball.
Yeah, that's why I took the 3. I don't know if they'll win straight up, but I do like.
All right. Now, is this game in Brazil?
Yes, it is.
So this first ever game in Brazil.
Yes.
So the Eagles are hosting the Packers. It's going to be on Peacock, which Ann loves. Ann is not here. It's her one-page streaming service, so Ann can watch the game. Eagles favored by 1.5, and I know Ryan's going to hate me, but I took Green Bay. I figure I see this game 24-23, which is the under because it's 49 points. I'm taking the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love with a last-second drive and a field goal. Green Bay. Alex?
I didn't realize it was in London, so I was going with
Brazil.
Brazil. So I was going with the home field. I went with the Eagles, but
I know. Do I even have to look at Ryan? Who'd you take?
I took the Packers.
Oh!
Even though they suck, I did take the Packers. I don't think the Eagles are going to travel very well. I know they got Saquon Barkley added to their offense, but I think I don't know if that team's going to travel well to start the year.
Now, I don't know if you know this, but because the game's being played in Brazil, every player will be wearing thongs. They're all wearing thongs, no pants, just thongs. They're playing in thongs. That's how they get the peak interest.
Plus, I think the crowd down there might be more Packer heavy just because they share the colors with the flag.
Oh, man. Yeah, green and yellow's on the Brazilian flag. Ryan with the scoop. All right. Next up, the Miami Dolphins hosting the Jacksonville Jags. Dolphins -3.5. They beat nobody with a winning record. I went with the Dolphins. Even though I hate that hook, I'm taking the Dolphins.
I did too.
Yeah?
That may have been the smarter decision, especially being that it's early in the year, September weather.
Yeah.
In Miami. They have that cheat code of the sun on the visiting sideline.
Oh, that's right. They do.
But I went with the Jags.
Okay. The cheat code. The Steelers used to do that at Three Rivers, too. And they would change sides in summer, I think. Okay. Anyway. All right. Next game. Steelers, Falcons. Falcons favored by 3. Who wants to go? Everyone knows I took Pittsburgh.
I took Pittsburgh too, plus the points. I think it'll be close, but I think Atlanta's going to take some time with Kirk Cousins. And
right, and Penix.
adjusting,
And by the way, there's some footage of
Close game.
Penix throwing the ball in the OTAs. He was throwing really pretty passes too. So look out, Kirk Cousins, who I do love. Who do you have in that game?
Pittsburgh.
Took Pittsburgh. All right, now here's the thing about that game. That's Arthur Smith, new offensive coordinator of the Steelers, was the head coach for the past 2 years in Atlanta. Revenge factor. Steelers, man, Freiermuth has already said, he smiles when he talks about the new offense because all the tight ends are featured. This is his contract year, coincidentally enough. So Freiermuth's going to have a monster year. Whatever his prop bets are, I'm taking. So we'll get to that later.
So far, Ryan is 4 underdogs.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I thought I would
Ooh.
have the most underdogs, but
Alex keeping track. All right, next up, Minnesota Vikings go to the Meadowlands and play the Giants, where the Giants are favored by 1. We don't know who their quarterback is. We know their uniforms are ugly. We don't know if they're wearing them on opening day.
Daniel Jones is healthy. It'll be Daniel Jones.
It'll be Daniel Jones. And they're paying him $40 million. And then Minnesota, is it Sam Darnold? I guess it's Sam
Yes.
Darnold as the quarterback. All right,
yeah,
so
they're saying they're going to let JJ wait as long as possible.
it's probably a good move. Darnold, again, everyone keeps saying, oh, Darnold, not bad. He still hasn't. This is his last shot to be a starter. All right, so who do you
Yes, it
like
is.
in this game?
Sam Darnold and the Vikings. I mean, he has 2 of the best wide receivers in the league. So
This is true. I also took them. I took Minnesota.
I also took Minnesota.
Why are the Giants favored in that game? What would make them favorites?
that they're at home.
At home, week 1.
Usually 3 points.
Only
yeah.
a point. Yeah, so it's basically a pick 'em.
I love Minnesota in that game. All right, next up, the lowly Carolina Panthers and their crazy owner go to New Orleans. Down there in New Orleans. Oh, down here.
5-point dogs. Yep.
5 points. That's a weird number, 5 points, right?
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
dead number.
Why do they call it a dead number?
Because it's very rare that a game lands 5.
Yeah, exactly. So I saw that. I didn't know. I know you grew up around this stuff, so I always appreciate the insight. And same from you, Alex, of course. But who did you? I took the Saints. That's a weird number, but I took the Saints.
I did too. I mean, they have Derek Carr. They have a good returning core there. But it's interesting because Chris Andrews just told me this morning there's a few bets coming in on Carolina Panthers over on their win totals.
Oh.
So I got to be careful because as I'm going through teams, and you're like picking win-loss,
yeah,
it's always an L next to Carolina. And I got to give them a little more credit.
They can't be as bad as last year, can they? I don't know.
No, Bryce Young's going to be improved. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. And, anytime I'm sure he's watching TV and they mention C.J. Stroud, he's probably like, oh, like that. So,
wait, are you
I took
Saints too?
Yeah, that's 3 straight games that were all 3 on the same side.
Okay.
You don't like that?
I just like New Orleans at home, and they're, I'm taking them. Next up.
What could go wrong, Ryan?
The new era begins in New England. Jared Mayo. Jared Mayo, that's right? What's the one name I always... D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah.
Ryans?
D'Amico Ryans.
Okay. Anyway, I have Cincinnati at home -9.
Ryan.
Joe Burrow healthy. They trounce.
I laid the 9.
There you go.
Bengals
Ryan?
comeback season.
I took the 9.
Oh!
I think the Patriots are going to be a feistier group than they were last year. They do have...
they were tired.
They did sign Jacoby Brissett, so he's been
Jacoby
a starter in the league before. The Bengals are getting Joe Burrow back from injury. They're losing... T. Higgins wants out. They lost Tyler Boyd. I think that offense is going to be...
Can we just stop the show?
They also lost Joe Mixon, so that offense is going to be completely...
And can we just stop the show again and talk about Joe Burrow's hair again? Okay, I'm joking. All right.
So I
They
took
also, the last 2 years, they started what?
very slow.
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
1 and 2 in the first...
You talking about the Bengals?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Steelers won that opening day game. They shouldn't have won against the Bengals a while back. Let's see, next game. All right, here it is. The Tennessee Titans, Will Levis going into Chicago with the debut of Caleb Williams. The Bears. -4.5. Bears, what are you doing? We're going to Ryan first on this one since it's his team.
I took the 4.5 with the Titans.
I did too.
I do know the Bears have an extra preseason game than everyone else, well, other than the Texans. So the Bears and Texans each play 4 preseason games.
Why is that?
Because they get the Hall of Fame game.
Oh, right,
so
okay.
they get an extra preseason
right.
game. So they'll have a little bit, maybe of an extra look at what the offense will piece together, but that's if they play everybody. And so, I don't know. The Titans added a lot of pieces.
Nope.
I'm also not sold on Matt Eberflus to be...
Roma Dunze catches an overtime touchdown, Bears by 6. Write it down. I'm putting it by 6. By 6.
I thought Bears by 3. So
Yeah. I mean, I
took
would
that 4.5.
still taking the Bears on the money line, but
All right, moving on. Arizona goes to Buffalo, 7 points. Murray's back. He's healthy. The Bills have a lot to prove this year, right? They lost Stephon Diggs. What do you think of this game?
I'm taking the 7. That's a good number in football, right? If push is the worst case, I don't think Arizona's going to be as bad as people think either.
All right, what do you think?
I also took the 7 with the Cardinals.
Let's go Buffalo. I took the Bills. Laying it. Taking it. Give me Buffalo. All right, next up, Houston.
They win by 7 and we all push.
Yeah, we all push, right? Now, the Texans, everyone, sexy pick this year to go far. Of course, everyone's not going to take them lightly this year. Go to Indianapolis, and the Texans are favored on the road in a divisional game. Colts, is Richardson back?
Yeah, he should be.
Right? Should be. What do you think, Alex?
I laid the 2 with the Texans.
Ooh.
That is hard, though. That is a divisional game. And I thought Richardson was really good last year to start. Colts are a feisty team. It's very low scoring, I'm going to say that. No, it's 48.
I took the Colts. I took the Colts at home. Give me the points.
I laid the points with the Texans.
Wow.
That offense, adding Joe Mixon and Stephon Diggs, that offense is going to be able to put up some points.
All right. Next up, we got time for one more. No, we're going to stop right here. I want to read this. Ann has Minidar wants to know, has Ann watched Love Undercover on Peacock? We'll have to check with her. Paul points out that the Pats are dogs in every game this year. I love that. Oh, my God. Look at the time, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. It is 12:36. Sean, roll the footage.
Punchline picks at 12:36.
All right, we do it every day here on the show at 12:36. We have someone here who knows what they're talking about with sports, and we have sports betting analyst Alex White. Follow Alex White on Twitter or X, whatever you call it, at Alex White with 2 E's at the end. Always giving out great tips and information. Alex, what do you have for us today? You said you had one college
hockey.
Baseball and one hockey. All right,
yes. So let's start with hockey.
Okay.
Because we have the first game in the Eastern Conference Finals. So we have Florida Panthers, New York Rangers here. Totals at 5.5. A little bit different for me. I always like to look for unders.
Okay.
But it's the first game of a 7-game series. I think that's too low. I set it at 6. We're going over 5.5. These two teams are very powerful offenses. Yeah. The Rangers are third right now in power play in the playoffs, 31.4%. And then Florida, third in goals per game, averaging 3.55. Rangers are fourth, averaging 3.5. Shots on goal, Florida, second right now, averaging 35.7. So I think we're going to see them both come out just shooting like crazy.
I love it. I love it. And then college baseball, which I love.
College baseball, okay.
Because all the tournaments, all the conference tournaments are starting. We know the SEC has the extra base, which that started yesterday, right?
Yep.
Let's look tonight and see if we can find some footage of the extra base.
Yes.
We'll do it for tomorrow's
I did
show.
see that on your guys' show yesterday.
I know, it's weird.
Very interesting.
I want to see how it plays out.
So we're going with the WCC, which is here in Las Vegas.
At the ballpark.
There's 2 games, one at 3, one at 7. I'm going with the later game. It's Gonzaga versus Santa Clara. I'm going over 14.5. Hitters ballpark there.
It's so funny to hear, isn't it? 14.5.
14.5, yes. Yeah. But the Zags have given up an average of 13.4 runs in their last 6 games, and they've averaged 7.4 themselves. Santa Clara finished the year really strong, 4-2 in their last 6 games. They had 11 runs twice, 8 and 6 in their 4 wins. So, again, hitters ballpark here at the Las Vegas ballpark. And last year we saw a lot of runs in the WCC.
Are you going to be out there tonight?
I will be out there tomorrow for both games.
Tomorrow for both games. Andy Martello, who chimed in talking about Rockford celebrities, he will be there, I assume, tonight?
Andy will be there at every game for the WCC tournament.
Andy will be there. Tell Andy Martello you said, or we said hello.
Hardest working person.
And he's great. He makes it look so easy. And I felt he was like my Yoda. He taught me and Alex as well. I had 2 Yodas. Any picks from you today, young Ryan?
Well, I figured our hump day homers were going to be our picks.
Okay, we'll do that. So there you go. There's Alex's 2 picks. She likes the over in the Rangers-Panthers game, and she likes the over 14.5 Gonzaga-Santa Clara college baseball if you can get it. Nice little parlay right there, too. I like it a lot. What was I just going to say? Oh, crap.
I don't know, but we
picks. I know. If you want to pick, here, it's not a pick for today. I'm gonna bet this. Paul Skeens tomorrow morning.
No Jared Jones?
I'm going with Skeens.
Oh, okay.
Jared Jones. We've bet Jared Jones every game, have we not?
Yes.
I think he's like 4-1 in overs, probably.
Yeah. Well, then they moved it up. So
they jacked it up to. I don't know what it is today. Do we know what Jared Jones over is today? If you can let us know. Paul Skeens is electric. He crushed the Cubs the other day through 6 no-hit innings. He's at home, for a businessman special. Now, in Pittsburgh, the afternoon games don't draw well, okay? People work. It's a getaway day, Thursday, right? The team's got to travel. So they're playing an early game, but Skeens should bring – I'm so interested to see what the gate is. Because in a lot of those games, 5, 7, 8,000 people, with him pitching, I feel like it could be closer to 15 to 20,000 people. If it's not, that's really embarrassing. I'm going to be very embarrassed as a Pirate fan. But that game starts at 9:35 Pacific, so I'll have to get up early. Don't worry, my idiot dog will wake me up much earlier than that. Hi, good morning. Good morning. Ding, 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 ding.
What's the matter with Marty?
No, it's Marty's fine.
Oh, it's
Scooby has gotten on this. Hey, it's early. Hey, let's get up. Come on. Oh, what is that? A 6? What is it? 6:09? Let's get up. Today he let me go till I think it was in the 7s. But anyway,
Jared Jones over under 6.5 strikeouts today
so
with heavy juice on the over.
Oh, yeah. I'll probably still take it while watching the show and watching the game later on. But Paul Skeens tomorrow morning, I'm taking Skeens over. It's going to be, what are they going to make him? 7.5?
Yeah, I would
right?
think so.
He'll get it in the first 3 innings. This is amazing.
Write it down now.
Write it down. Write it down. Paul Skeens. That's my pick. All right. That's our picks at 12:36. Alex, thank you as always for those. Let's get back to the football games. We have a few more games to go over, and we have some other stuff for you guys still left on the show. What's next?
We were on Raiders, Chargers.
I took the Chargers at home minus 3.5. Harbaugh's debut.
Ooh, I took the points with the Raiders.
Damn it.
I also
Division.
took the points. Yeah.
Oh, you
Close
guys are
game.
pretty. Next up, Commanders. I called them the correct name because it's in print in front of me, so I didn't call them the wrong name. Washington Commanders go to Tampa Bay. I took the Commanders in the 4 points.
I did as well, and that's Sean's sleeper team.
You like the Commanders this year, Sean, as your sleeper team. Who's their quarterback? Why am I drawing blanks? Oh, Jaden Daniels. There you go. Jaden.
I laid the 4 points with the Bucks.
You did. Okay. A big contract for Baker Mayfield. A lot to live up to.
Yep.
And you gave your pick. I'm sorry, Alex.
Still have Mike
I
Evans,
took the
still have
Commanders
Chris
as well.
Godwin.
All right, 4 more games. Denver at Seattle. I might change this one. I don't know why I have Denver circled. I can't. 5 points, though? It's that dead number again.
Yeah.
What did you guys take?
Seattle. I laid the points.
I laid
Seattle.
the points as well.
Yeah, I'm taking Seattle. I'm changing that, and I'm allowed to do that.
And then
Dallas Cowboys at Cleveland. Dallas favored by 1. I took Dallas.
I did too.
I took the Browns.
I knew you were going to do that, you son of a...
took
All right,
the
and then
Browns.
I'm not buying Deshaun Watson until I see Deshaun
It
Watson
actually happened, right?
be the old Deshaun Watson.
There you go.
That makes sense.
And then the Sunday night game, a good matchup. We got the Detroit Lions, who are going to win the NFC this year. Hosting the Rams. Matt Stafford going back to Detroit again, -4. I took Dan Campbell in Detroit.
Ooh. I
That's a lot
took
of
the
points.
Rams
I
and
know.
the points.
I laid the 4.
There's revenge.
On the Lions side. I'm
Okay.
actually, oh no.
Playoff revenge.
Yeah,
Wow.
true.
Wow.
It's okay.
I took 3 of the 4 NFC North teams
Yeah.
and not my
And
own.
not the Bears. But it was, I took only the Steelers, of course. Last game, the Jets at San Francisco. This is going to be a great Monday night game. Aaron Rodgers first came back. Hopefully he stays healthy. The Jets are on primetime TV 6 times. So they're gambling that Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. I'm taking the 6. I took the Jets in the 6. Even though they're traveling all the way across the country, it's a lot of points for Aaron Rodgers.
I'm taking the points too. That defense is so good.
It's also Robert Sala's
His return to San Francisco.
his return to San Francisco. So I took the 6 as well.
All right, put your name on there. We're sealing them up. This is it. We're putting them here. We're sealing them up. We're not putting them in the Dune thing. We're going to seal them up. All right, Hump Day Homers. Let's do Hump Day Homers. Hump Day Homers. Hump Day Homers. Did you have a graphic or no? I can't remember.
We were working on one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, should we do posts and end with Hump Day Homers? Let's do that.
Sure.
Okay. Sound the horn. Sound the horn. Press the P button.
Too fast.
And has it set up for the P.
Too fast. Too fast.
Too fast? Click on the screen.
You're right.
There we go. Our fill-in boss babe of the day, Sean. Thank you, Sean. Nice job. What are you doing? It's Post and Punchlines. We got a lot of them today, and we will end with Hump Day Homers. We appreciate you guys watching. Andy Martello, if I had some of that Punchlines streak left on money bring home, I would not be working all the games. Yeah. Bears were not prepared for the Packers last year in the season opening game.
No. And then the year before that, they played against the Packers. We're up 21-0, and that was that the year before?
Yeah, I remember that.
No, it was Khalil Mack's first year. They were up 21-0 at halftime and blew it.
All right. Let's get to the post. What do we got first, Ryan? I know the first one is
So
something.
sticking with NFL content, you
Yep.
mentioned people showing up to OTAs,
Yes.
some content from that. So somebody that got a lot of flack for just walking into the building was the back-to-back defending champion quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. You can go ahead and roll it.
Now, they're saying he looks like Mahomes, looks like my house.
They're saying he looks a little overweight.
Does he?
That's why I titled it 1587 Steaks Later.
Oh, yeah, that's their new steak joint.
Yeah, they're
very
prime,
good.
Yeah, they're prime. 1587 prime.
Alex?
I mean, he looks like he put on a couple pounds, but I think he'll be fine.
Looks normal.
But he's allowed to.
Yeah, no, yeah. You win 3 Super Bowls, you're allowed to do
And
it.
when you're a young professional athlete, like, how long does it take him to lose 5 to 10 pounds? Couple weeks? A week?
Yeah.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Let him eat steak. That's funny. 1587 steak. When does that open, their steakhouse?
I think it's next year.
He and Kelsey? All right. Why don't they just buy an old one and throw their name on it and just do that? Buy a Morton's. All right, what's next?
So going from Kansas City to Atlanta.
You're obsessed with this pass.
Yeah, so Kirk Cousins to Kyle Pitts. Everyone is hyping up Kyle Pitts. This is going to be the year that he finally takes off. So this clip has been circulating, but watch the DB.
All right.
He brings his hand down
He could have
so that way Kyle Pitts can make the catch. That's
Right.
what you're supposed to do in practices so that the offense can get their reps. In a game,
Right.
that is not a complete pass.
Right, he
That
pops
might
it
even
up.
be intercepted.
Right.
Why is this getting hyped up the way
Why
it
is that that catch is not? I could do that catch right
Yeah,
now.
he catches it down here
And just turning.
instead of up here. That's not a completed catch.
Atlanta just wants everyone to not forget about Kyle Pitt. What'd they spend? It was a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be the tight end of a generation.
Yeah, I think he was the 8th overall.
Yeah, it was top 10. He spent 5 or 8. I don't know why 5's in my head, but 8 sounds about right.
Well, because with
Honest to God, though, I mean, the guy has not produced yet. He's got to do it this year. And we're going to do fantasy football this year.
Well, he finally has a quarterback.
He does. He has 2 quarterbacks, actually, I think.
Yes.
But yeah. All right. What's next here, Ryan?
Well, from the team that has Kirk Cousins to the team that had Kirk Cousins, we go to the Minnesota Vikings. They have signed Aaron Jones to a contract, so the former Packer running back.
Right.
He is going to wear 33 in Minnesota.
Okay.
But I want you guys to pay attention to the jersey numbers. The first 3
He's angry about it.
has the little point, the Viking, like their font, the point. But the second 3
It's more
has
rounded.
nothing. Why do they have 2 different 3s
Look at that.
as their font? That doesn't make any sense.
Is he the only player on that field that has him like that?
I don't know. I would guess that the 30s all have, like the first number all has that dent.
Yeah.
But why is it not the same?
Right. It's yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
That
So
would hurt my
all-
brain.
All the 30s.
That does hurt. That does hurt my brain.
If
That's
it's
why it's
13 or 23, then that second 3 looks like that one.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's weird. It is stupid.
Yeah.
I
that
think
is
it's
stupid.
kind of cool.
It's
I'm
cool.
rock
Oh,
it.
up. Alex likes him.
Okay.
All right, seal up that pick. I don't know.
like how it
Aaron
makes
Jones, though,
Ryan
that's
mad, too.
him staying. He's going to play the Packers twice a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. But
You think he does a Lambeau leap in Green Bay?
Yeah, he probably
When he
will.
scores?
Yeah, he'll do it.
I would
Only if they're
think so.
down can you get away with that. Three's
think
Company.
so.
Good title. Good title. I blame Fanatics. They don't even make the uniforms. Just blame Fanatics. We blame them for every baseball uniform mishap. It's their fault.
Well, so talking NFL stuff, there was somebody that did an SEC team
Yeah.
to NFL team comparison. So all the teams in the SEC,
That's so many
comparing them
words that
to
hurts
an
my head.
NFL team. Yeah, that's kind of why I made it bigger.
Yeah.
So the first one, looking at Georgia, they are compared to the Chiefs because they were good a long time ago, went through decades of being good, but not good enough. They are the best team in the sport the last 5 years. Alabama is the Patriots. LSU is the Packers. They've been really good a lot. And when they've been down, they've been really down, but they've come back. Florida Gators are the Giants. The Tennessee Titans are the Bills. Tennessee Volunteers are the Bills. Texas A&M the Chargers. The Texas Longhorns are the Eagles. They're pretty good most of the time. Haven't
Yeah.
actually won as much as you think. People always want to give them more credit than necessary.
And no Steelers or Bears on this.
No
little
Steelers, no
comparison.
Bears on this list.
What's the Saints one? Who's the Saints compared with? Both
the
had a Manning.
Saints
Is that Ole Miss?
Yeah, compared to Ole Miss. Both had a Manning who was pretty good, but generally the team that isn't that good at all.
You know, Archie Manning celebrated a birthday the other day. You know, he was sacked in his first 3 seasons. He was sacked like 81 times. They were terrible teams, the Saints. I mean, he had all the potential coming out. He never played on a good team. Obviously, he's passed on the genes of championship quarterbacks, and his grandson's going to be great. But I remember having an Archie Manning card, and remember the Saints were on TV once in a while in Pittsburgh, and I'd watch him, and I liked. But he never had time. He was great at Ole Miss, and then he went. It was terrible what happened to his career. So, all right, enough downers about that. All right,
I think my favorite one was the Kentucky being compared to the Lions. They do some fun stuff now and again, but the last time they really mattered, Bear Bryant was in Lexington.
that is funny. Are we going to the Pirates Hall of Fame?
So, well, we got one more. NFL
Oh, I'm sorry.
thing.
Go ahead.
So the
I'm
Giants.
rushing it. I got excited. I saw it on the screen.
The Giants released their 100-year new uniform, tribute to their legacy. And then Malik Neighbors, their first-round pick this year, was asked about what he thought about the jersey.
Yeah.
And he didn't really have anything good to say about it.
Let's hear
The Giants just unveiled their red throwback jerseys. What do we think about that? Give some honest feedback here.
It's going to be hard to swag it out. That's all I got to say about it.
How do you make that look good?
I don't know. I'm going to see when I put it on.
If anyone can make it look good, it's you.
Oh, of course. For sure.
Yeah.
All right, Alex. I think Alex is the only one with fashion sense on this panel. Alex, what do you think of those Giant
Not
uniforms?
good. No.
They're not. I mean, did they try
Don't
to
like
make
it.
them so it'll drum up so much business and people want to buy them because they're so hideous? Why do I see those at Ross Dress for Less like a week after that game is played? I don't know. The Steelers had terrible ones, the Bumblebee ones, but not good.
No.
And they have to wear them at least twice.
Yeah, they're wearing them twice.
But again, someone was saying was that Parles, if they win, they'll just play in them because I think you can play in them more if you want.
Yeah. The Bears still use their 100-year uniform, the one
Yeah.
the white with the stripes on the side.
Oh yeah.
on
The
shoulders.
Steelers color rusher. That's their big luck. They're lucky in those. So it's cool. I like teams with multiple uniforms. It's fun.
I
Yeah.
did like the
I think it's
Definitely
great.
is.
The all black Steeler ones I love. All right. Speaking of Pittsburgh, are we going there next?
Sure.
All right. So yeah, the Pirates every year they just started this only 2 years ago. The Pirates, one of the most long-standing franchises since the 1800s. I don't know why it took this long, but they have a Hall of Fame and they're inducting Barry Bonds. Now it was wondered why Barry Bonds wasn't in the first couple years. I think they wanted the ceremony to go smoothly, but they're putting him in this year. And if you take just his stats in Pittsburgh, when he was look how thin and tiny he is there. Before the alleged he did steroids, but anyway. He was an MVP. He was an all-time great player. They're putting him in. I think he's going to get some boos, but I think he gets a lot of applause. I don't know.
I would think he gets applause.
Manny
I would
Sanguian,
too.
the catcher, 2 rings. He actually came back on that 79 team. He was there in 71. Also, the reason about Manny Sanguian, always that big smile, and he has a barbecue place or he has a restaurant out in right field. He's there at every game. You can go say hi to Manny Sanguian at any game.
That's awesome.
My Uncle Joe, the great Uncle Joe, we would go over and say hi to Manny all the time. He'd bring up a few points, and he'll just talk hitting with you. He just sits there. I mean, he's an ambassador for the Pirates, so I was really happy to see Sanguian. And going into the actual Hall of Fame this year and the Pittsburgh Hall of Fame, the beloved Jim Leland. So he's going to cry. He'll cry. He cries everywhere, so he'll cry there. That's going to be great. That's later this season, so very exciting. Vernon Law should have been in that group, who's 93, still alive. They should have put him in, but they didn't. But anyway, there you go. Nice one.
So talking about Leland crying, someone that makes other baseball players cry.
Oh, look at these segues.
Is Mason Miller.
Yes, who's from Pittsburgh. Nice segue.
So in his last 13 outings,
Look at this.
this is from Talking Baseball. So he's 15.1 innings pitched, allowed 1 hit, 2 walks, and 33 strikeouts.
What?
If you look at his season stats, he has a .89 ERA in 16 games. He has 9 saves in 20.1 innings pitched, 41 strikeouts, and a .59 whip. He has the most pitches thrown over 100 miles per hour in Major League Baseball this season by over 60.
Well, Skeens is going to pass him eventually because he's a starter and Miller's a reliever. But this kid out of Gardner Webb, I believe, Jeff challenged me yesterday or the other day, and I knew the college he went to. Just like Belenkov challenged me on the last left-handed catcher, and I said Benny DiStefano. I've been good on trivia lately, but those stats are insane. 15 innings, 33 strikeouts. It's 2 strikeouts an inning if my math is correct, and it is National Numeracy Day.
I have a picture interviewing him from last season.
Oh my God, he played at the ballpark.
He did, yeah.
Did he throw heat like that last year too?
Yes,
I mean,
he did, but he started.
Yeah, he had a perfect game going through, I think, 4.
Oh, and they yanked him because it was too many pitches? I mean, look, at the A's have nothing to build around Langoliers. I don't know. This kid, I mean, you know what people would give to him, give to the A's, but they can't. They still on a rookie contract. They got to keep him. Unbelievable.
He is. They are taking calls on him, but they want the farm system.
Yes. And as well, they should because the guy's unhittable right now. But boy, relievers, it's just such a risky. We were talking about how Diaz's ERA with the Mets is over 5. I don't know. Bednar got a save yesterday, or the win actually for the Pirates, but he's been shaky. Anyway, that kid's fun to watch pitch. There's a POV online you can see. There's a camera behind the plate, what it looks like to face 103, and it's insane. It's like facing me in wiffle ball. Can't hit it. It's unhittable. All right, next up.
So moving away from baseball, going to the NBA.
Right.
I don't know if you saw, but when the Timberwolves came back to beat the Nuggets in Game 7, Charles Barkley had told Anthony Edwards that he hadn't been back to Minnesota in over 20 years. And so Ant promptly responded, "Bring your ass." And so this morning, the governor of Minnesota tweeted this proclamation from the state. And if you notice the first line of all of these whereas sentences.
We can't notice it, but we'll take your word.
I zoomed in on it. So the first letter of the first one, BRINGYAASS.
That's hysterical. By the way, the only way people discover this is if they leak it themselves, because no one is looking at that.
Well, I mean,
maybe
one sentence just says Nas Reed and.
Oh, so yeah, okay.
I mean, and then they're not full sentences. It's they break it up to spell it that way.
You know, George Plimpton wrote a thing for Sports Illustrated about this pitching phenomenon for the Mets. Sid Finch did a whole big article in Sports Illustrated that he threw like 110 miles an hour, and everyone's like, "Wow!" This is before ESPN and stuff. And the first letter of each paragraph was April Fool's Day. It came out on April Fool's Day. If you look up Sid Finch, it's kind of a reference to fake players, but that one actually, people are like, "Who is this prospect?" Sid Finch. Was all made up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he fooled everybody. Speaking of the NBA, though, while we're still there, that game is tonight, Mavericks and Timberwolves. What's the line?
4.
It's
Timberwolves,
4.
Yep, -4.
What do you think? Oof.
It's 207 total. I like the under more than anything.
Yeah, and Timberwolves team over is 105.5. Dallas 101.5. Luka's points 28.5, and Anthony Edwards also 28.5.
I'm leaning towards the Timberwolves. I mean, Luka has looked healthy at some points, but not in every game. And I just think Minnesota's going to use all this momentum. I think that's awesome. I love that he said that to Chuck, and they're using it, and I don't know, getting all this hype. So,
what do you think? Do you like Minnesota? Are you rooting for? I'm kind of rooting for Minnesota because they haven't been there before. Yeah. I do love watching Luka play. So I
think Anthony Edwards is a very fun player to watch.
He's very fun.
I'm with you too. I mean, I like Luka. I'd like to see him get a ring as well.
Yeah, and I love Mark Cuban. He's from Pittsburgh. Why not?
Yeah, he also sold the majority stake of the team.
He did to someone from here in Vegas, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure. But still talking about that game.
Sure.
There was someone that tweeted pictures of Kevin Garnett and Dirk Nowitzki and Anthony Edwards and Luka Doncic. So 22 years ago, the Mavericks and Timberwolves met up in the first round. And the Mavericks ended up sweeping them 3-0. But now this year, Anthony Edwards and Luka Doncic meet up in the Western Conference Finals. But two-way stud from the South with no filter, being KG and Anthony Edwards, versus a generational offensive talent from Europe, Dirk Nowitzki and Luka Doncic.
Pretty funny. Good noticing. Good catching. But the internet doesn't miss a thing. Dirk Nowitzki, man, that guy could fire the ball. I loved watching him play too. So we're going into the WNBA, right?
Yeah. Our last post of the day, something from the WNBA. So Kelsey Plum and Asia Wilson last night each scored over 20 points. Their 26th time as a duo, the second most in WNBA history.
What does that picture look like? A superhero? Like it looks like a cover of a comic book.
Yes, it does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I love Kelsey Plum. I love both of them. That's great. And speaking of the WNBA, tonight Caitlin Clark is playing.
Yep.
Yes, she is.
Yep, we
got props down here at the South Point. You want to come down to the South Point? I noticed her over-under for points. Caitlin Clark's dropped a little bit. It's 19.5. Usually it's been sitting at, 20.5?
Over 20, yeah.
I believe she went over that against the Sun.
I think so, yeah. I think she did.
Which they did cover in
right,
their last
it was 4
game.
points. It was 88-84.
I'm waiting for their first win, too. I know people are like, don't make a big deal of it. They're going to lose a few, but it's still exciting. They get better each game, so it's fun to watch.
Didn't she get injured the other night also?
She rolled her ankle, but she came back at the end of the game. Yeah.
So she's fine. Might put a little ice on it. So Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, hopefully
we're still with you, Caitlin. Good stuff to watch tonight. You can watch Caitlin Clark. You can watch Dallas Mavs and Minnesota Timberwolves. And if you're a hockey fan, you got the Rangers and Panthers.
Well, talking about Caitlin Clark, her 3-point field goals made is still sitting at 3.5.
I know. I won on that.
She's attempted at least 7 in all 4 games this season. She's gone over it 3 times now. So she's under once.
I know she did in her debut game.
And the last game, I don't know if you watched it, but she was shooting from the logo.
Yeah, I saw her hit the one logo. I think she had 17 points, right? Yeah. Saw the logo shot. I saw it on social media and went, oh, she must have went off. And then I checked the box score and I'm like, oh, they lost. She only had 17.
So she was under. So
right. Yeah, it was 17. I don't know why that's stuck in my head. All right, last but not least, it's time for Hump Day Homers today. I took Ellie De La Cruz, right?
Yes.
Ellie De La Cruz. He's facing Michael King of the Padres. Michael King, of all the starting pitchers going today, has given up the most home runs. He's given up 11. And Ellie De La Cruz is due for a home run, and that's who I like today. So I will be betting that as a home run. Alex?
Yes, so we're going to bet them separate as well,
Yeah, we're
right?
going to do them separate.
Ellie is plus 450 to hit homer.
Plus 450. I like it. I'm
check
taking
mine.
it.
Yours is plus 230.
Thank you. So I'm going with Bryce Harper. He has had 2 in the last 7 days. He had 1 last night against the Rangers. They're playing the Rangers again. They are at home. Seeing the ball really well. He has 11 on the season, so we're going with Harper.
And what did they say after he hit a homer last night? They said it must have been because of his promposal.
Promposal.
Yeah, he did that promposal, which we led with yesterday, which got a lot of ink everywhere, which is really cool of Bryce Harper to do. Last but not least, homer parlay.
Well, if you
Hump Day
do
homers.
decide to parlay these 3, it pays 57 to 1.
Okay.
So Ellie De La Cruz from Frank,
$2.
Bryce Harper from Alex, and I am going with Shohei Ohtani. He's gone 4 straight games without a homer. If he doesn't homer tonight, it'll tie his longest stretch of the season without a homer.
Oh, I like it.
So they're going against Ryan Nelson in the D-backs. Nelson's only allowed 4 homers on the year in 29 innings, but I like Shohei. He's been hitting the ball well the last few nights, just hasn't gotten one over the fence, so he'll hit one tonight.
He's due. He is due. Alex, it's always a pleasure to have you on Wednesdays. You're back on Friday.
I will be here.
Tomorrow you have Sports by the Book.
Sports by the Book, 9 a.m., and I have Dwayne Colucci on.
Oh, Colucci. I know we haven't seen Colucci in a while. We got to get him back on the show maybe next week. Speaking of the next show, Chris Harrison, former host of The Bachelor and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, huge sports fan. He was a sports anchor before he got Bachelor. He will be here tomorrow via the video from Dallas because he's a big Dallas sports fan. He's rooting for the Mavs and the Stars, so we'll talk with Chris tomorrow, his second appearance on the show. We had him on like week 1, so we're glad to have Chris back. And on Friday, Alex shall return. Chris Andrews tomorrow too. So we're going to have Chris and Chris show tomorrow. Thank you, Sean, for cutting the show. And got a much needed day off. Jerry, as always, and Caden.
Thumbnail. Great job on the thumbnail.
Great job on the thumbnail. Put one with Chris Harrison. It'll go over big. Thank you for watching, Ryan. Great job with the post as usual and everything. I'm Frank Nicotero. This is Punchlines. Line stands for Live in Nevada every show. Thank you, Punchies.